we hop into the top side of Shrines of Liesel. I mean, this map keeps showing up when we see these guys play. Actually, both these teams played this map as the first game of their series in the quarterfinals. You have uThermal on the top right-hand side with Elazer as well. And again, it's a very aggressive rush-based map for this 2v2 as we have Crow, the blue Zerg, and this purple Terran is Clem. So this is a Clem and Crow versus uThermal and Elazer. These are next level brackets. Yeah, I know it's not pretty, the bracket command, but the alternative is to link the Wikipedia, in which case people can't even see it anyways if they don't want spoilers, right? So, yeah, I mean, what can you say? So we're going to do this semi-final, then the Trap Cure versus MC and Tasia semi-final, then we'll do the grand finals as well after. Again, unless my internet decides to die, which I'm just going to be honest, it very well might do so. It could do it. So, fingers crossed it doesn't, obviously, but, yeah, unfortunately, it's not been a pretty couple of days. Hopefully, all should be sorted by tomorrow. I'm just a little bit stressed out, hoping that it does get sorted by tomorrow. But if it all gets sorted by tomorrow, we should be all good to continue on. Hatch dropping down on the gold base here from Elazer. As he gets this going, Overlord here from Crow, just having a little bit of a scout around early. Both actually open hatch, gas, and pool. I mean, gold base from both of them as well, so both have the same idea. It's also that kind of point where it's almost so small of a map where if you try to cheese, you get found out so quickly by the Overlord that it just doesn't really make sense. So while it's an aggressive rush-based map, it doesn't necessarily mean 12 pools, 13 12s, and that sort of thing. More so looking towards stuff such as a little bit of a later play. I mean, when I say later, still like maybe one base with the Terran or something like that. This is Free Rax Reaper again from uThermal, so it's what we saw him doing on this map earlier against Bjorn. And Patience, it did work out for him. Obviously, this time he's against a Terran and a Zerg, so we'll see how that works out as both players transfer 8 drones from Crow, actually. So he'll lose more mining initially to then get more mining from the gold. As you do see, actually, uThermal is going to chase away Clem's first Reaper here with a Reaper of his own. So that Reaper getting pushed down to the south, and the two Reapers now go to gather together. They're going to start heading in towards the center. Link speed coming up from both players here. Factory dropping down, about to finish up. And actually an SCV going to get picked off there right away. So SCV goes down. A couple of Marines and a Hellion on the way up as we are going to be seeing that SCV. Now he drops on the CC. Obviously more Reapers coming in as well. And they are going to come in to solo that Reaper. Obviously Zerglings here too. Grenade is going to keep that Reaper alive. He pulls the low health one back. Now he's going to continue against these slow Zerglings, which are just wandering around. Whoa! There's a Ling left there. Bit of a miscontrol by uThermal, who loses another Reaper in the main base as well. Bit of a mistake by uThermal as we see Lings of Elazer starting to come in. Elazer making a Baneling nest. More Zerglings as well. Wants to pressure with uThermal here. And these guys are off to such an aggressive start already. Tons of Zerglings on the way out here from Crow. As you see a few of those Reapers just hanging out on this left side watchtower. Lings of Crow pressing forwards. Just going to hang out with these few Hellions. The Reapers obviously hanging out from uThermal as he adds 2 more racks on. Last game he just kept making Reapers. And well, that worked out for him. Lings already split themselves up so they can try and get us around the Reapers, but then the Banes come in. Makes this a bit of an interesting dynamic because the Reapers will hop down towards the Banes, and the Banes will actually do a good job. Make space for the Reapers to come down there safely. Good teamwork. Bane's going to be pressing forwards. Reapers, obviously, this is their job to actually get some damage done. Tries to throw a grenade down. Elazer has to give up a couple of Banes to help defend that position. 4 minutes in, this is a full-on onslaught of aggression versus aggression here. uThermal expanding as well as he gets his 4th and 5th racks up, and Reaper production continues. Elazer still just spamming Ling Bane. Tell you what, Elazer's 7 workers up over Crow, though. That is a big difference. So, 7 extra workers, that will go a long way for Elazer. uThermal is up a couple workers over Clem. Clem's army a little bit better though, Hellions and Marines. So it's a little bit kind of neither here nor yet there yet in terms of who has a lead. Ling's still gathering around. Hellions and Marines still sitting on the ramp as well. Here we go, a few Zerglings continuing forwards. Reapers again hanging around over on that left-hand side. Lings as well going to come in, and already that Zergling of Crow just trying to get back, pull away towards the main. Reapers hopping up into that main base as well. Another Reaper or 2 popping out, so all of these Reapers continue to come on in factory dropping down in the main, and the Hellions of Clem through the center. I'm intrigued to see how well these Reapers can trade against the Hellions. If they can stay spread out, then maybe pretty well. His 3 Reapers are just left to chase down those Marines in the medevac. Kind of like it. So many Zerglings from Crow, but again, with Banes of Elazer and Reapers of uThermal, I don't think they can really do much. And I like this. A run by of Elazer. Going to go and die for a Queen. A few Lings towards the mineral line as well. In the end, I think the Queen stays alive, and I don't think he does that much damage overall. It buys them a little bit of breathing room on the other side of the map as a Queen and a Skullcrawler will deal with the 8-kill Liberator. Damn, Elazer just lost some workers there. That's painful. Meanwhile, this one medevac of Clem still trying to find something. Zerglings are perusing the map, but they're not actually able to find anything just yet. Ooh, Hellions get into a nice little spot here, though. uThermal has to drop down the ramp, and, well, we'll get into a concave, though, against that, but then the Zerglings start running in. Grenades come down. He's near a ramp, uThermal, so he can hop back up pretty easily. Dropping back down again. The concave is good against those Hellions. Lings and Banes of Elazer not getting too much of a chance to come in. Reapers go up to the high ground to get themselves healed. And they will be able to regenerate a good little bit here as uThermal just continues to help push this away. Elazer looking great at the moment. 37 to 18 workers. He just asked. I mean, if they do just both keep holding on, they should be great here. Crow has a Carapace upgrade in his favor, which will help, but other than that, I mean, Reaper's still on the way from uThermal. What's Clem's army even looking like? I mean, he's going into mech. Factories continue to come on through. He's going into a Banshee. I tell you what, he doesn't have... There's nothing to deal with a Banshee here apart from a missile turret or two. He actually does build double turret to deal with this. So uThermal will have an answer pretty swiftly here. One SCV coming out of that main mineral line gets targeted down pretty quickly. uThermal does start to build Marines in general as across the map. Lings run in. The Reaper support's coming through. There's just so many Reapers now that you wonder if Lings alone will be able to deal with this. The Hellions running up the ramp, but again, the concave is scarily good for uThermal. He's able to do a surprising amount there as he'll hop back down, though, and should be able to turn and fight this if he wants to. Again, he's got the concave at points, which actually makes this not so terrible for him. Now he actually jumps on the Hellions. He knows he's got too many. The Zerglings coming in, knowing these Reapers are a little bit committed, so the Lings will start to surround, and uThermal is in trouble as the Zerglings go wild. His Reaper count is decimated, and that's how uThermal loses a ton of his army. And maybe now Clem and Crow will have enough to just straight up counterattack and win this. A few Marines are setting up Widow Mines as well. There's Banes and some Roaches here from Elazer. Widow Mines unburrow and reburrow, and that one should go down. No, not targeted by anything there, actually. The Ling is just streaming on through. Those Roaches don't have +1 or anything, and the Lings have Carapace, so that's making life very difficult. Marines on the high ground aren't really doing much. The Banshees and the Hellions, the Cyclones too, to gather up and help out with this. And it looks like Clem probably has too much here, as it looks as though there's too much from Crow as well. He's able to break his way through Elazer's army, and Elazer will type out GG. uThermal will not have much of an option either, and that is Crow and Clem picking up game number. All of that war chest money into more tournaments in 2019. Bottom right, blue Terran is uThermal with his teal Zerg buddy Elazer. Top left, our red Zerg Crow and the purple Terran Clem. Very early SCV across the map from uThermal here. Doesn't even rally just to go and scout. Still a very early scout. SCV of Clem scouting as well. They're both scouting super early on Traitor's Exile. And this map obviously has the expansion kind of set back for one player. And then, I guess there's expansions forwards, but it does, you know, your ramp kind of leads down into it at least. uThermal builds an engineering bay. Does that wall off the ramp? No. No way. Does that actually wall this off? No. 2v2 is so stupid. Does it actually? It must. Wow. Well, yeah, sorry, Crow. You're meant to stay over there. But now if uThermal and Elazer apply some pressure onto Clem, they should be able to outmatch him because, well, Crow won't be able to get anything to come and help out. Clem leaves a single SCV, continue to fight it. Just that engineering bay has worked through a little bit. Obviously, SCV on its own will take forever to kill that engineering bay, but, well, only a little bit, right? Because, again, Crow's going to have to try and break out of his main sometime soon. Elazer's hatchery is later as well, so he has that spawning pool faster, makes an overlord for the moment. Ling speed, not a thing. And she just started mining gas, so is what? Pool, hatch, and gas versus hatch, gas, and pool. And this Crow will actually have the faster gas here and the faster link speed. They can't do much with because this SCV is going to finish the engineering bay and repair it. Oh, I would have thought he would repair it, but he doesn't. Maybe he knows the Marine's on its way over. Anyways, units that go and prioritize dealing with this means that the Reaper can come across. This is actually crucial because these drones can't go and saturate the natural. They're actually just stuck oversaturated in the main. Reaper comes in to buy some time. The SCV comes in, gets a bit of a repair. Now Ling's coming over. And this is, again, just so silly. This is just so silly. Oh, Lings can get down here. What? No, they came from the other side. Moment of stupidity from me. Yeah, that does slow Crow down a bit. I think that was definitely worth 125 minerals. It buys time for this Reaper to be annoying too. The units of Clem go over there rather than defending his own building natural. And that's a big deal as well. As now uThermal on one base. I mean, all of these are just things which set him up for a nice follow-up here. As Elazer is spamming some Lings. He's getting that Baneling Nest as well now. Reaper's hanging out over here. Couple bit of damage. Ling's getting picked away at. So Ling's going down pretty quickly. Couple Marines still hanging out as well. Nice grenade. Gets another Zergling kill. Marines still taking some shots as well. And overall, this is pretty nice, I would say. These Reapers actually really kind of catching up in numbers. uThermal is just on 3 Rex Reaper once again. So same style from uThermal. He's getting tons of damage with it from the start this time. Now the Zerglings start coming across from Elazer. His Bane Nest about to be done. His Ling speed also finishing up momentarily as the Ling speed of his opponent is good, but all of his Lings are going down. Now the Reaper count in the main base of Clem is kind of concerning. He is reactoring out Hellions, but it's not going to be, well, that's not going to be the be-all and end-all here. As Ling is actually fighting the orbital of Clem, losing an SCV. I mean, this is going to have to lift up pretty much right away, so already denying the natural expansion of the Terran player here. Something they weren't really able to do before. Now catching Zerglings as they pull back over the right-hand side. Hellions continue to come through. Another Reaper grenade is good, and turning around again. Hellions in some trouble. One Hellion dropped. The Zergling goes down as well. Those Marines chase down, and again, the Hellions still being chased away. Man, those Reapers dealing some masses of damage, honestly. Hops back down, and again, the Hellions just in so much trouble. Bane's here from Elazer too, just knows he can get so much damage on those Zerglings, and this is going to be starting to overwhelm. These guys, I mean, both Elazer, Clem and Crow are just so split up from each other. The base of Crow's natural is just so split up as well. It's so difficult to get units into his main to reinforce, as he's actually just having so much, like, he's having endless amounts of trouble here. There's Lings on the low ground now. Crow's scared to bring his Lings down from the main base in case it turns into that sort of mess that it did before. Reaper's just going to dive in, kill a Queen over here. This natural expansion will, well, be decimated in terms of economy. I mean, the Banshee is a good idea. It's definitely something that can't be kind of dealt with by this army of Elazer and uThermal. The issue is it only kills Zerglings and Reapers so quickly. And in a way, it kind of feels like it's not going to be fast enough. SCV is dropping very quickly in the main. These couple of Hellions that are here are in some trouble. Lings will buy them some time, but that's about all. The Reaper over there fully surrounded. But all those Lings have gone down now. And again, it's a singular Hellion dealing damage, as pretty much every SCV is dropped. Only 4 SCVs remain on the map from Clem. Make that 3, 2, and 1 SCV remaining, with 1 in production. Clem is in a lot of trouble. All uThermal and Elazer have to do now is shut down the Banshees, and they have absolutely got this game in the bag. Because Crow also only has 16 workers. This early aggression has just gone so far out of control. Let's say 16 workers make that 12, 11, and it will stay at 11 as those Reapers are now dealt with. The Lings aren't dealt with though. Streaming in from Elazer, but he'll back away. The Banshees a little too scary for him. Few Lings just pushing back over there as well. And that's the issue, right? I mean, Clem was able to build a couple Banshees, but he can't build many more. He isn't going to be able to afford them with the lack of economy now. And he's going to be in some real trouble here. Drone pulling back a little bit. Cloak on the way up in this starport as well once again. That Banshee is about to finish up as Zerglings running forwards. Starting to go up against a bunch of those Lings of his opponent. Nice Banshee play from Clem here again. Still trying to do something, but extra Reapers show up, and I mean, the Banshees just can't be everywhere. Crow is out of here. Clem is out of here. uThermal and Elazer will tie up 3 of this series. As we have to the bottom right, Blue Terran is Team Liquid's uThermal. His teammate is the Red Zerg Elazer, spawning a bit north of him. Top left is the Teal Terran player Clem. with the far left Orange Zerg being Crow. How are we doing, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I appreciate some tech issues earlier, and honestly, I'm not going to lie, it's very likely the internet issues return. They've been persistent over the last couple of days. I'm hoping to have something resolved more properly tomorrow. For now, it has stabilized enough where at least we can cast a little bit and maybe get hit by the issue like once every couple hours. So, again, if we start dropping frames, freezing up, and anything like that, I'll try and come back ASAP. I'll be in the Twitch chat to update you guys with what's going on. But it may very well be a case of just trying to wait it out or something like that. So again, set into this game 3 of the best of 5. If you guys are enjoying the stream today, don't forget to hit that follow button. We're actually only 80 followers away from 36,000. Also pushing 5 million views on the channel as well, which is kind of ridiculous. Kind of redonkulous, really. So yeah, if you guys enjoying any of that, enjoying the stream, consider following, all of that good stuff. You guys know how it works. You guys know what's up and what's going on, don't you? Yeah, you do. I know you guys know. Appreciate all you tuning in, though. Again, some New Year's Day casting today. So yeah, let's go. Did that crow just call? That was an interesting little noise to hear early game. Not free rack sweeper this game from uThermal, maybe too large of a map or so. It seems to be a little bit of a different setup. So get this underway. Overlord spreading up to the top left, Elazer spreading out a little bit. Who is Crow? Crow's a European Zerg player. Let me just check his MMR for you to give you a rough idea. He's very good. Has been really improving lately. Crow. Caw. Crow is currently sat at around 6,043 MMR. So he's a 6k Zerg player on the European ladder. Obviously, we'll probably peak up to around 6.2 or so. And so on and so forth. And the Terran player here as well, if you guys don't know, this is Clem. Just obviously difficult to know that it's Clem because he's using a name called Xavier, so again, can't really help you with that. So yeah. Feelings on the way up here. We see a fast Evo chamber from Crow again. His link speed is down. So he may be trying to go into that +1 carapace once more. 4 minutes into this, we haven't seen much action, but the players are starting to poke around a little bit more seriously. These Hellions and Lings from Crow and Clem are actually quite on top of the Lings and Hellions of Elazer and uThermal. The thing is, Elazer's up 14 workers over Crow, so realistically, these guys, Elazer and uThermal, just have to play defensive, and they should be fine, right? Because Elazer has so much more economy, he can afford so much more of a time, even throwing down a Rotron already to start transitioning. Something he tried to do in game number 1, but wasn't given the time to do. So that is something to be a little bit cautious of here. There's a scan coming down, and again, those few Hellions of Clem just hanging out the front in the center. uThermal with the Hellions joining up too, and again, those Queens of Elazer hanging around. Lings pulling back a little bit, just hanging out there too. And we see the engineering bay coming up from Clem as well. So just getting that engineering bay down now. Lings still gathering up from Crow. The Hellions and the Reaper gathering up too. And again, the Queens from Elazer are going to be able to push this Overlord away and will be able to take that down. Zerglings here from Elazer going to be hanging out on the right side. And again, the Banshee coming into the main base is just going to be coming in, starting to pick up a whole bunch of these drones. So a whole bunch of drones coming, getting picked away at right now. So a lot of kills so far. 8 workers down. Banshee will die. It's damaged by Clem though. Cuts Elazer down in workers a little bit, although overall still ahead compared to Crow, at least if we're comparing the Zergs. The Terrans are pretty similar in their position in the game. Clem going into a second factory already. uThermal is just set up on the 1-1-1 and is going to add 2 more factories of his own. So slightly later, but still is going to get 1 more as well. So again, mech from both of the Terran players here on Dusty Gorge. And so far, having the middle of the map hasn't really done much for Clem or Crow. And Crow does start making drones again now, but Elazer's just a step ahead of him, so he'll continue to be ahead. With Roaches on the way out as well. Obviously, the Roaches will transition better in towards the mid game, especially against a Terran player who's playing mech. And these Lings of Crow are almost just dead weight right now with so many Hellions around. Ling's going to gather up down on the bottom. One more refinery is being dropped in from Clem on the natural expansions. Getting those going again. Hellions and a Cyclone gathering up towards the ramp as well. We still have this army of uThermal just chilling out on the creep as we do see Clem's next Banshee showing up. And Queen will just have to run towards the Spore Crawler a little bit more fairly shortly here. As Hellions enough for them to take the center now. And we will see those Lings just backing away. Macfield Accelerator on the way up from uThermal. This factory going to lift up, drop down on a Tech Lab 2. This army of Clem just moving around very cautiously so far. 10 Roaches on the way up, plus 1 missiles coming through from Elazer as well. You will see these couple of Queens coming around and just going to be able to push that, work away at that Banshee. Banshee will drop here in a moment, so Banshee picked off pretty quickly. On the left side, Hellions and Cyclones gathered up together as well, plus 1 missiles, and Roach Speed also coming through currently. And the Cyclones still just moving around a little bit. Lings and Roaches on the top. I still like uThermal in Elazer's position. I just feel like Crow is so far behind that while the Terran players are going neck and neck, it just feels like Crow will never have as much to add to the fight as Elazer will. But that said, there's a nice run by making use of those Zerglings at least. Because obviously we didn't expect these Zerglings to be too useful. Hellion Cycle in the middle of the map from Clem, going to fight the Roaches of Elazer. Roaches will have to be a little bit cautious here. Those Cyclone lock-ons are dangerous. uThermal will deal with the Zerglings, then he can move in towards the center of the map to help as well. And SCV is just everywhere though. uThermal is down 15 workers from that attack. That's painful as we do see the Roaches and the Lings being pushed away. Obviously the 2 players split up here, although uThermal might be able to make more of a surround out of this now. The Hellion fire destroys those Lings, and now those Cyclones are actually in trouble because Clem hasn't got lock-ons. He didn't back away soon enough, and you tell you what, Hellions will chase those down as well. And that's why, I mean, it might be good against Zerg, but the mass Hellion of uThermal is actually just going to chase it down. Well, you know what? Mutalists show up. Muta's going to be able to clean up enough of this in time, though. That's the question. Anti-armor missile will go away towards helping. A Viking and Cyclone can do what they can. Some order turrets as well. As we are going to be seeing this Hellion army. I was running up with those Roaches. I mean, the army's just going to split up now. The problem is, if it's only Hellions that can clean this up, only Mutas that can clean this up, the Mutas can't be everywhere at once. These Roaches are just going to sit on the low ground as the Hellions and the tanks sieging up over here. Mutas will fly on in, but the drones, well, they're going to be in a ton of trouble. They are going to get picked away at very quickly, and that's the issue, right? The Mutas will clean this up eventually, but by the time they've done that, they're going to have lost so much. As we see Elazer continue to jump on Cyclones and Hellions there. Hellions just running all the way into this mineral line and getting even more of these drones. GG is called by Crow. He will tap it out. So will Clem. uThermal and Elazer will take the lead in this series for the free. Well, you can do that. Helps us to run tournaments, cast tournaments, and just keep on streaming StarCraft 2. So do check that out. As we have to the top side, our blue Terran player and our purple Zerg player, uThermal and Elazer. Bottom left, the red Terran player Clem and the teal Zerg player Crow, who's going to go for a 14 gas. Dang. $14-14 from Crow, so that is quite aggressive to get going. As Clem is going to proxy barracks number 1 and number 2 in the top side. He's going to take gas with it, so it's going to be proxy rack sweeper with speed lane support. These guys are down a map. They need to win this to force a game 5. And they're going to put it on the lines of some very heavy pressure in the early stages of this game number 4. Hatchery from Elazer starting on up here. Command center continuing to produce some SCVs right now. Rax is about 75% of the way done. Obviously, uThermal and Elazer previously were actually very good at scouting and scouting early, but decide not to this game. Elazer has a couple overlords around, but none now in position to see the Rax or anything. And because it's a backward natural as well, you wouldn't even find information very soon by kind of like arriving at like a forward natural and seeing there's nothing there. So these guys, uThermal and Elazer, are really going to be in the dark. Straight out of Gassy on 100. 16 workers, all on the one base minerals. It's just going to be pure Zerglings here at the moment. And they're going to go those Lings up this right-hand side. Couple of SCVs going forwards, and Elazer instantly points them out. Says, oh my god, it's time to go. Reaper coming up, a couple of SCVs here as well. The Lings are about to arrive as also. uThermal had a single Marine, then a reactor and a factory. He was getting ready to expand. At least his factory was early in the game. Could have been a lot later, could have delayed it and gone for the second gas later. Still will expand here, by the way, as the second Reaper shows up. Well, that's uThermal just saying that if he holds this off, this should be okay for him. And Elazer is making a few Lings of his own. Obviously, uThermal should be able to keep those Lings from really being too much of an issue as long as he can repair. And repairing obviously isn't necessarily going to be something you can do all the time. But he's getting Marines out and another Hellion, and kind of feels like uThermal is somewhat stabilized. And I kind of like the idea of going towards Elazer a bit more, because it kind of makes uThermal come out towards the Elazer space to defend. Then those units are more out in the open and are much more eligible to attack. Elazer doesn't exactly have a wall off to work through. I think these guys kind of dove on the wrong player to begin with, just because the Rax were on the top side. Well, that Queen is going to be dead from Elazer. Not able to do much there. The Reaper's coming in as well. Another Queen of Elazer on its way down. This game might be down to uThermal to try and recover somehow, as Elazer's in a lot of trouble. uThermal's trying to come over with 2 Hellions. He does get one of the Reapers. It's a nice pickoff, but then Elazer still has to hold on. The Reaper's actually going to go chasing back towards the Terran side. Now, I don't like it. I don't think there's any reason to try and push up into what you think is a one base of uThermal. With a wall off and everything, it just doesn't make any sense. Reapers do come back over to the right, but imagine how much damage they could have done while those drones were fighting against Zerglings. Yeah, they could have done a crap ton. But loses that opportunity now as the Lings of Elazer with the drones as well will surround the Reapers. And that's a mistake by Clem. Honestly, could have been there so much sooner. Pulling back to the top was not the right decision. And while Elazer is down and hurt, 13 drones, he has got a hatchery, and he's only 2 drones behind Crow, who obviously didn't have a lot of workers to begin with this build. So that's not so bad. As uThermal, you got to remember, he is also in a position where his production structure's at home, and he's got a lot of Hellions up now. Hellions against a setup of Clem, which doesn't actually have anything at all, so there's some real potential for damage now. He's going to go towards the Terran's base, and tell you what, it's going to be 6 Hellions against soon-to-be 2, and I mean soon-to-be 2, not 2 right now, which means SCVs will start to go down pretty quick. Other Lings of Crow will obviously come in here to try and help out. uThermal has to try and prioritize what he wants to attack here, and he's going mostly for SCVs. Clem is brought down to 16 workers, so now they have 35 between them against the 46 of Elazer and uThermal. As the Reaper shut down there. Continuing to build Reapers off of these racks means it's gas and minerals, which are going into units that aren't achieving all that much, and it just feels like the continued commitment is just helping to put Elazer and uThermal extra steps into the lead here. Ling's coming over, as you're going to be seeing Crow trying to help out, but the Banes are getting ready from Elazer, and that's obviously helping quite a bit. The Hellions pull back from uThermal here, and I feel like uThermal and Elazer are playing some very good 2v2 right now, like playing a very good combination of kind of just teamwork, really. Pulling back in that right times, obviously talking to each other and discussing when they should be pulling back and so on. More Zerglings coming over, and again, just going to be seeing those few Hellions and Marines just gathering up on the low ground. Barak's going to lift up. What's up, Ayla? How's it going? Nice to see I'm back streaming. Well, the internet's already dropped once today, so not being too hopeful. But tomorrow is the day everything should get fixed-ish, or start getting fixed. Plus, I get internet at home, so I have backup options. So it really, it's an annoyance, but it's not the end of the world. If it comes to, I could drive home, and I might honestly just move my PC home right away. I was going to try and make sure everything was okay first for a while, but I might just do it right away, honestly. Just do it, you know? couple of factories on the way down here from uThermal. As you see, obviously a couple of Hellions perhaps able to get up here. Raven pops out of the starport, a Viking on the way out as well. Single Zergling getting picked off, and these Hellions from uThermal heading down into the center of the map, but being careful about it. Elazer setting up maybe a bit of a flank here. These few Zerglings might see those Hellions, but, well, this is awkward because Clem is kind of on the wrong side. And you've seen all the Terran players that they've been built for Banshees, apart from uThermal, basically. Thermal's consistently gone for non-Banshee plays, whereas pretty much every Terran in these 2v2s has been Bansheeing it up. Clem still one base behind all of this, so all uThermal has to do is survive. It's 43 to 20 workers. The Zergs are equal, 39 workers apiece. It's a huge lead for uThermal Elazer. They just have to keep on defending, not let this army break them down and break through. I think the biggest issue kind of was maybe the Banshee, but then you have a Viking and a Raven out, so you can actually interference Matrix to get rid of a lot of the damage output. And you have the Viking to obviously just chip your way through that Banshee over time as well. There's the Mutas on the way from Crow, same as the last game. 10 of them now on the way up. This game, uThermal, though, I mean, Cyclones on the way out, kind of... I mean, I feel if they survived the Mutas last game, I feel like it's possible to survive them again this game. Banshees will start coming forwards. Hellions still just gathered up in the main. Elazer is pointing out this attack is here. Trying to get up into this third hatchery, and that third hatchery does finish. Small Crawler will come down. Again, there's a couple of Banshees going to get pushed away down into the center. Macfield Accelerator is on the way up, so Macfield coming through. Again, this army of uThermal still gathering together. We do have the Banshees, the Hellions, and the Mutalists. Still set up, ready to come forwards here. Here we go, Hellions of Clem. Starting to push up that ramp, does a little bit of damage so far. I think he's just unsure as to where he really wants to go. I think up the ramp in towards the Zerg base is the right way to go. I mean, there's a wall off here for the Terran. The issue is, as soon as you commit up there, you get yourself sandwiched by the Terran army coming in behind. Here we go, the Mutas will be a bit of a surprise factor maybe, and that's where the Queens will not be able to hold on their own. Hellions and Cyclones starting to stream on through. The Mutas definitely cause for issue here, cause for concern. All the turrets going down though. Cyclones fighting the Mutas too, man. Those Mutas are getting absolutely destroyed at the moment. Hellbats are not really going to be enough at all. And while the Mutas will clean up, there's only 5 or 6 of them left. And extra Cyclones, Queens, etc. should be able to start making some progress there. Also at the moment, not much anti-air for the Banshees, although gets 1 and will get 2. Banshees going down. Good shot down by a single Viking. Still, those Mutas being a bit of an annoyance, but the Queen's now a bit more comfortable to fight them because he lost so many. Mutas continue to come in. Missile turret here as well, though. That's the thing. Mutas can only do damage in so many places because they're going to get shut down by the anti-air stack defense. Because there's just not that many of them. Again, more Cyclones coming up as well to be some more mobile anti-air. Roach is dealing with Zerglings trying to reinforce. Cyclone locks onto a Banshee. Widowmines burrowing up as well. And now it feels like there's only really Mutalists left over as they'll get the Viking. Oh, the Widowmines! The Widowmines are absolutely huge here, and the Viking will get some more damage. Cyclone locks onto a Zergling, not the best way. These guys are going to tap out. uThermal and Elazer will advance through as our first finalists here, guys.